President Barack Obama there is defending his government's surveillance programs. He says the classified programs help prevent terrorist attacks. Well, news that the U.S. government's been collecting phone and internet records has caused an uproar. Critics say it's an encroachment of their civil liberties. Obama insists the programs have safeguards to avoid abuse, though. Susan Bonner joins us live from our Washington bureau. What else is Obama saying then to try to reassure Americans about these surveillance programs?
Well, in his first public comment since the news of these surveillance programs broke and surprised so many people in this country, the president stressed several times today what these programs are not doing. No one's listening in on the phone calls of Americans, the president said. No one is reading Americans' emails, the president said. And he said that several times. He talked about how this mining of information, he called it, is effective. It's an effective tool to search out for people who may be planning attacks. What authorities do, he said, is they look for patterns in this information. They're not trying to delve into innocent civilians' privacy. He also talked extensively about the safeguards that he took credit for putting in place to make sure there's oversight of this work. He talked about congressional scrutiny, a special court that's set up to protect the interests of Americans, and even audits that make sure these protocols are effective. Finally, the president said he welcomed the debate on how society needs to find a balance between protecting civil liberties and ensuring national security. He thinks his administration has struck it. Here's Barack Obama.
What you've got is two programs that were originally authorized by Congress, have been repeatedly authorized by Congress. Bipartisan majorities have approved them. Congress is continually briefed on how these are conducted. There are a whole range of safeguards involved, and federal judges are overseeing the entire program throughout.
Susan, how big of a problem is this for Obama politically?
Well, it's caused quite a stir in this country, no doubt about it. But the president is not being attacked by a united opposition on this story. In fact, there's bipartisan criticism of him, yes, for the way he has used these programs that were made legal under the Patriot Act, which goes back to George W. Bush. But there's also bipartisan support for the president. Many Republicans like him. The same people who didn't like the idea of the Patriot Act way back when it was first brought into power don't like it now. The president, though, really seems to be counting on public sentiment to swing over to his argument, to see things his way. This is all about national security. That's prominent and predominant. Listen to him on that point.
You can't have 100% security and also then have 100% privacy and zero inconvenience. We're going to have to make some choices as a society.
Now, public opinion on this program itself may be one thing, but Barack Obama has some personal stake in this. Remember, this is a man who campaigned so forcefully and so eloquently as the man who was not going to be George W. Bush. He was going to be so transparent. And now Americans may be coming to an understanding that the reality of Barack Obama in office is quite different from the rhetoric from his fight to get there.